Okay, well, good evening. The Platting Board is ready to come to order. I would like to have the call to order and roll call.
Don Porter.
Present.
Jana Weltzing. Present. Ryan Morman.
Present.
Zach Young.
Present.
Tom Gould.
Present.
Sam Laffey. Stacy Wessel.
Present.
Brandy Pennington.
Here.
Karen McGillivray is excused. You have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have our approvals on the next, and we'll need action summaries, and we'll need a motion for the action summaries in the minutes of Wednesday. Oh, sorry. Oh, we know. Okay. So we'll move on to special order of business. Oh, okay, so we need a motion to approve the minutes, sorry, for Wednesday, February 1st of 2023. We have a motion moved by Ryan Morman and seconded by Sam Laffey. Do we need a vote on that? If there are any objections? Seeing none, the minutes are approved. Okay. So we need to move into special order of business. First of all, do we have any disclosures? So, Jana?
Yes, I was not present for the meeting of February 1st, 2023. Therefore, on item 5A, resolution 2023-005, case number S12708, I request to be excused from voting. I'd like to abstain.
Excellent, thank you. And then Ms. Stacy Wetzel?
I was also absent from the February 1st, 2023 meeting and will abstain from voting on the consent agenda. Additionally, there may be a conflict of interest for new business regarding case number 12706, Seclusion Subdivision. Joe Burnham is one of my clients and owner of Seclusion Subdivision, lots 3 and 4. I worked with him to obtain GIS information, contour information at lot 3 and 4 in order for him to find a better route, access up the mountain. I was paid by the client, and I also do have special knowledge regarding his lands and those lands that surround that area.
Okay, great. So we'll need a motion to direct you to approve, and then we'll have to decide if we want to approve that motion or not. We always have to do it in the positive. I need a motion to direct member Stacy Wetzel to participate in case S12706. That motion was moved by Sam Laffey and seconded by Zach Young. Okay, so Mr. Laffey, would you speak to your motion, please?
No comment at this time.
Okay. So, do we have discussion?
I could speak to it. I'm going to be voting against this motion. Ms. Wessel indicated that she has particular specialized knowledge in the subject of this property, that she had financial benefit from participating in advising her client that's related to this case number, and because of that, I do believe that she has a conflict, so I'll be voting against this motion.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Right, so a motion on the motion, if you vote against the motion, then that will ask her to recuse herself from voting on this case. If you vote in the positive, then it would direct her to participate in this case. Do we have any other comments?
Point of order, does it require 5 votes for to direct, or does it's just a majority to direct? All right, 5, thank you.
5. Great. Anybody else? All right, let's vote, please. Okay, that motion has failed, so that the board directs Ms. Wetzel to, no, I'm sorry. We have Welton and Wetzel to recuse from this case. Thank you. So when that case comes up, you'll go outside, sorry. And you could even leave for the evening because it's the only case. All right, thank you. Are there any more disclosures? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the informational items. I need to read in to the record the abbreviated plat action summaries for February 6th, 2023 and February 13th, 2023. Informational items. Okay. All right. Election of officers. So the next item on the agenda is the annual election of officers. So we need the folks that have been here before, they've seen this process before. Essentially, folks nominate for chair and vice chair. Right? So do we have any nominations?
I'll nominate you as chair.
Seconded.
Seconded.
Third.
Thank you. Nominations for vice chair. We'll need someone to nominate somebody. Come on.
Who wants to be vice chair?
I-
Would you like to be both chair and vice chair?
No, I'll nominate Ryan Mormon as as vice chair.
Seconded.
Seconded.
Status quo. All right. So then we vote on each of these? All right. So motion to approve the nomination of Don Porter as chair and Ryan Mormon as vice chair. Please vote. Kind of important when you have a few people. Excellent, that motion has passed. Thank you all for your participation, and thank you for nominating me. Okay. So that is done. We are moving on to the consent agenda. We have to abstain for that, and there is only the resolution 2023-05 and the related case of S12708 on the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second? Great. It's been moved by Mr. Sam Laffey and seconded by Mr. Mormon. If there's no objections, that motion is approved. Thank you. Okay. We have no old business, so we move on to new business. That's where we would need to, you would actually have to recuse yourself at this point. Thank you for your service tonight. So thank you again for coming. Okay. Oh, we got to read that into the record now. So, the Platting Board meets each month from the first and on the first and third Wednesday, except holidays, as regular meetings. If the Platting Board fails to complete its agenda for its regular meetings, the board carries over the remainder of the agenda into the following meeting. The procedure by which the public may speak to the Platting Board at the meeting is, after the staff presentation is completed on public hearing items, the chair will ask for public testimony on the issue. Persons who wish to testify will follow the time limits established in the Commission's Rules of Procedure. Petitioners, including all of her representatives, will have 10 minutes. Part of this time may be reserved for rebuttal. Representatives of groups, community councils, PDAs, etc., 5 minutes, and individuals will have 3 minutes. When the testimony is complete, you may be asked questions by the board. You may only testify once on any issue unless questioned by the board. Any party of interest wishing to appeal shall first file with the planning director within 7 days of the board's decision made on the record a written notice of intent to appeal in accordance with AMC 21.03.050A.4.A. The following approval of the written findings of fact and decision, any party of interest may, within 20 days, file an appeal by filing a notice of appeal and paying for the appeal fee and deposit in accordance with Section 21.03.050. The notice of appeal must be filed with the planning director on a form prescribed by the municipality. If the appellant is not the applicant, the appellant's notice of appeal shall include proof of service on the applicant. Thank you. All right. So with that, may we have the presentation for case number S12706.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is a request to modify plat notes number 4 and 5 from plat 2010-56, seclusion subdivision, which is lots 1 through 4. The petitioner is requesting the plat note modifications to allow for direct driveway access to Payne Road. The amendment will add access to lots 1, 2, 3, and 4 from Payne Road shall be reviewed and approved by the Municipal Traffic Engineering Department. And in the staff analysis for the criteria listed, staff has found that standard A has been met. Conditions that required the plat note have changed because of current Title 21 code requirements. At the time of the plat, the old Title 21 was referenced and required a 100-foot non-disturbance setback from water features. Watershed Management Services identified a stream along the northwest corner of the property and along the northern lot lines of the subdivision. As such, the access easement was placed on the plat for access to the lots outside of that 100-foot non-disturbance setback. And during the final plat phase processing, Watershed conducted a field work and mapped the water feature along the northwest corner as an ephemeral channel and not a stream, and then did not identify any water feature along the northern property line. Following the plat, AO 2018-67S was adopted, which further reduced it, required a 10-foot total setback per side for ephemeral channels. That change in the setback and then the mapping that Watershed Management Services did along the road allows for the lots to access directly to Payne Road now. So standard B, staff finds that that's been met. Modification of the plat note will not have a negative effect on neighboring properties, and all lots have access directly to Payne Road, and the existing common access easement remains as secondary access if desired or needed. None of the reviewing agencies, which include traffic engineering, private development, and the right-of-way departments, have any objections to the removal of the modification of the plat note. Standard C has been met. Plat 2010-56 would continue to meet the approval criteria for subdivisions if this subject plat note is modified. The existing subdivision still facilitates the orderly and efficient layout and use of the land to the maximum extent feasible. Even without the restrictive plat note, all the lots have frontage and access onto Payne Road. Staff finds that all those conditions that have been placed for A, B, and C have been met, and recommends approval of modifying plat notes number 4 and 5 for seclusion subdivision, lots 1 through 4, with 1 and 2, A and B. And that modifies number 4 and number 5. So that, it basically just adds that if they're going to access from Payne Road, then it needs to be, a driveway permit needs to be reviewed and approved by the Municipal Traffic Engineering Department. And the petitioner is here tonight to answer any questions as well as I am. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. At this time, do we have any questions of staff from the Platting Board? Okay. Seeing none. Will the petitioner please come forward, state your name, and if you'd like to reserve any time for rebuttal?
Right. Good evening, Chairman, members of the board, and planning staff. My name is Craig Bennett, B-E-N-N-E-T-T, and I don't think I need to reserve any time. And I would like to thank planning staff for working with us on this one, and I'll keep it short. We agree with staff analysis and the department recommendation of approval, and I'm here to answer any questions the board may have.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions of the petitioner from the Platting Board? Okay. No questions for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
At this time, the hearing is now open for public testimony. Anyone wishing to testify, please come forward, state and spell your name for the record. Apparently, we don't have anybody on the phone. Nope. Okay, we don't have any more. So at this time, we would ask for rebuttal, but it appears not necessary at this time. Thank you. Any last questions of the petitioner? None. Public hearing is now closed on this issue. Okay, what is the will of the body? We'll need a motion to approve. Thank you. The motion has been motioned by Ms. Jana Wilson and seconded by Mr. Zach Young. Ms. Wilson, would you care to state your motion, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I move in case S12706, seclusion subdivision, lots 1 through 4, to amend plat notes 4 and 5 in plat 2010-56, subject to the conditions 1 and 2 shown on page 3 of the staff report. And to speak in favor of this, I'll be voting in favor of this. It looks like there was no negative comments from the reviewing agencies. Pretty thorough report put together, and I didn't see any negative comments from the public. I did see a comment from the public that raised an issue about flooding that happens normally in this area, but I think that has been addressed by the reviewing agencies and the staff report, so I'll be voting in favor of this.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wilson. Do we have any other additional findings on this motion? All right. Hearing and seeing none, it's time to vote. Excellent. So that motion has passed. Thank you very much for the vote. At this point in time, we have a motion to adjourn. Can someone provide a motion to adjourn? It's been, sorry, it's moved by Mr. Laffey and seconded by Ms. Welton. And I guess we adjourn.
Nice.
Thank you.